Good evening and welcome to Awakening Wednesday. Happy New Year to everyone. January the 10th, 2024. I am blessed and honored to be here with you in this way. Tonight, our topic is, can we reach the mountaintop? Can we? Well, before we get into that, we are a thriving community, and we do a lot in our community and out in the world. And for those of you that may not know, January is usually a month of celebration for Martin Luther King Jr., for all of the wonderful accomplishments and gifts that he gave our world to make our world a better place. And so with that, let's do our history. Our history, a Maryland governor vows to disenfranchise black voters. On January the 8th, 1908, newly elected Governor Austin Carruthers, a former judge, prosecutor, and state senator, declared in his administration his highest and momentous obligation to eliminate the illiterate and irresponsible black voters from Maryland electorons. Embracing our history is key to overcoming systemic racism, sexual and mental inequality. We are all a part of our history. And our prayer, we are the light bearers of love and forgiveness, vibrating the flames of equality, grace, and peace all over the world. Embracing our history is key to overcoming systemic, racial, sexual, and mental inequality. We are all a part of our history. This coming Wednesday, we are honored to have Kathleen present Spirit Dance, Moving Heaven and Earth. This will take place in person here at the Lions Club. I encourage you to come down. Dance is a powerful and wonderful way, and this is very meditative. So it's not a gyrating. It's very meditative and very relaxed, and allowing you to really go within and connect with your spiritual self. What a powerful gift to kick off January with. I'm very excited about that. This Sunday, Reverend Kevin and Lauren Grace will be sharing with you what's blocking our good. Yes, we all want to know what is blocking our good. And our beloved Lauren Grace has Heart Song, which is something she features every third Tuesday of the month. She will be here January the 16th at the office from 6:30 to, I think it is 9. And it's a beautiful love donation of $20. What a powerful gift. Our wonderful practitioner, Borg Hill, is supporting us through our Grief Support Circle. An opportunity the second Saturday of each month, January the 13th from 10:30 to 12. Grief is the echo of love. And whether it's a job or a person or an animal or a sense of self, wherever you may be feeling grief, Borg Hill takes you through a wonderful process to help recognize, to be able to embrace and echo the power of love, that it is the gift that it is giving to you. And last but not least, the women's retreat. We're almost at the final end. All slots are almost all gone. So if you are thinking about joining us for our retreat, please sign up now. I think this Sunday may be the last time. I'm not sure, but I know they were going to announce it Sunday, so that's probably the last day. You can go online and register. If you have any problems online, you can send an email to lee@universalspiritcenter.org or gino@universalspiritcenter.org. All right. Those were wonderful, wonderful announcements. And I am Gino Walker. I am your musical and production director here at Universal Spirit Center. I'm really honored to be here this Wednesday. And to kick things off, as I said, we are honoring Martin Luther King. So as we dive into this divine world of, can we reach the mountaintop? What is that for you? What is the mountaintop for you? So let's just settle in, take a breath, and whether you're watching me live or you're seeing this at a later date, we take this breath to consciously become aware that in this very moment, I am letting go of all earthly thought, centering in on the divine peace and connection with my source, with your source, with the divine, to take this opportunity to allow the brain, the mind to be still. So as we take the breath in this moment with that, just recognizing how great thou art, how amazing this divine time and space is, and what a gift it is to be in this absolute awareness that all that there is spirit. So as we breathe that in, we welcome in this evening, and let's kick it off with a video that's a tribute to Martin Luther King. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Martin Luther King, for the amazing gift that you took to reach the mountaintop. You know, when that came through, the vision of recognizing that this hunger and thirst to drive, to go forward, to not just to accomplish something, but to be about the recognition of change, to be a person of and for change. And so we find in this amazing time right now that the mountain is, we have mountains everywhere. Everywhere. I don't know what your mountain is, but there are mountains everywhere for everyone. And we have this amazing opportunity right now to be able to take a moment and start to realize what's important. What's important to you? What's important on your trip, on your climb of the mountaintop? What is it that you want to express? What do you want to encourage or expand? What do you want to grow? How do you want to know and live in a better space as you climb your mountain every day? The question, can we reach the mountaintop? Can you reach the mountaintop? Martin Luther King talked about, I don't know if I'll get there with you, but he believed that one day we would. And so, as we see in this time and space now, the mountain looks just gigantic at times. The crevasse between where we are living and what we are wanting the world to be a space for all to live in. And there are very different wants and needs for that. And I know it's simply said, but if they're on this mountain, one of my mountaintops is to express and have a really clear understanding that your mountaintop does not have to stop my mountaintop. That my life expression, that the things that I'm choosing to participate in, to be about, to experience, does not have to be thwarted because someone doesn't believe that it is right for them. And we are in a space where so many different expressions of anger, of hatred, of separation. We are clearly in a space that there is this feeling of absolute separation from all that is good on every side and angle that you can look at. And when I look at that on a mass scale, I get overwhelmed. But when I bring it back to me, to what is it that I am choosing to share with the world, to give to the world, to be a part of this world, what is it that I am wanting to share? What is it that I want to leave as my legacy? How do I want to help? Then that mountain becomes very focused for me. It becomes much clearer, and all of the other noise around me dissipates. I realize I can't do everything. Can't do everything. So when I think about my mountaintop, what I would like to be on top of that mountain, looking out and seeing how the world has changed, what are those things? Racism? And the true understanding, the systemic essence of racism that runs so deep, runs in such a way that because of the way a person speaks, you assume certain things. Or because of the way that a person dresses, you assume certain things. Or you are intimidated or began to get fearful because of the way a person's voice escalates. These are things that we don't think about, but they're happening constantly. We're judging, we're thinking, we have visions of things that we have seen about different cultures that we believe to be true without knowing or without doing any work to realize or to find out if it is. And then if it is, it's for that person or that group. But we tend to put everybody in the same basket. So for me, racism is one of the things that, excuse me, on my mountaintop, I would like to look down and see that there's much clarity, that there is freedom in thinking and being with people, that we can love each other and see each other as divine lights and not as black or white or Hispanic, and not to not see that, to honor that, but not make that a person less than or a person more than. To get rid of these categories of racism that separate us. So that's one of the things on my mountaintop, as I each day, my practice is to participate in bringing new awareness, more of an open heart, how to engage in uncomfortable conversations. But we must have the uncomfortable conversations, because without it, and this is perfect, I want to read this quote that Martin Luther King, one of his quotes, this is so beautiful. The quote is, the silence of the good people is more dangerous than the brutality of the bad people. The silence of the good people is more dangerous than the brutality of the bad people. It can be easy to say nothing and do nothing, whatever that may be for you. Now, I do understand that we are in a very volatile state of being right now, and it takes very little to push someone over the edge. So there's also this understanding of being able to communicate in a way that allows someone to come in and share their thoughts with you. Does not mean you're going to appreciate and like, and it definitely does not mean you have to agree. But at least it's a starting place where we can start communication. And you may not be the person that wants to be out front, but are you participating in organizations that help you reach your mountaintop? Or are you sitting by saying it's too big? Or things will never change? Well, they will never change for you if you never stand in a space to explore what's possible. Each day, we want to be the best that we can be. To be our best self, to be inspired by the greatness that we are. Because within each of us, there is absolute greatness. There is a divine greatness that is within each of us. And our mountain, as we have explored this planet, it has helped us, guide us, moved us. But sometimes we're either too afraid or just too tired. Too tired for change. That's when we have to unplug from the world and really go within and sit in meditation to rejuvenate the essence and the energy of source that is within us. That's already there. Everything we need, I believe, is within us. Everything I need is within me. It's tapping within it. So on my mountaintop, racism is definitely one of those rocks that I'm willing to climb now. I used to say things will never change, and I realized that as long as I said that, then I was absolutely right. They would never change in my world and my thinking. They would never change in me. The change has to come from within us. You know, there are times you go to a movie or you read a book and you get so inspired that it changes your world. And you create a new mountaintop. And yes, when we reach for things that are so much bigger than we can even fathom how it's going to work out, when it's going to work out, that's a mountain that, let's not focus on the peak, but focus on the day. Each day. Even if you are sitting in meditation, holding the essence of love and joy about whatever your mountaintop is, that is doing some work. You will be moved from that and inspired to do something, to create an action, to join someone, to be about some participation. That's the power of being in alignment. When you're in alignment, you just can't sit idle and do nothing. The energy and source will pull you toward your higher and greater good. I got a few of Dr. King's quotes because his whole essence of being able to step out at that time, it wasn't comfortable at all. The mountain that he was climbing was not comfortable at all. And the people that chose to climb that mountain with him, some of them were met with unbelievable difficulties and hardship. But they believed that the mountaintop was greater than what was happening in that moment. And that's a power that's within us, that when we decide to give way to this divine trip, to this journey, to this climb, there has to be something that inspires you, or else you will lose hope. We all get tired from time to time. So you rest, but you don't give up. And you don't give out. This quote, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. What a powerful awareness. That no matter what we are faced up against, no matter what our mountaintop is, no matter what the journey is, no matter what the day is, if we are in the darkness, you cannot see the light. So if you are in the darkness trying to move forward, you're moving in the darkness, not able to see which path to take, not able to know where to turn, not able to hear the presence and power of Spirit speaking through you. It is in those times that you must retreat into your cocoon of love within. Be it meditation, be it silence, be it a space of reading, to remember the power and presence of who you are. And when you do, that light comes through you. And when you feel that light come through, you are then able to walk in the direction that is calling you. You're able to hear the voice that is guiding you. Oh, and when we feel that love is more powerful than being right, than being mad, and absolutely than having hate. It's not always easy. No. There are times that justification feels right. And I have to remind myself that there is not love in that. If I'm justifying, I'm being right and you're wrong. And so in that, there is a clash. And it doesn't mean always I can do it in that moment. Sometimes in the moment when you're caught in the middle, you may not always be able to pull the love, to open the love. I have a new visual in my head that I am a faucet of love, and my faucet is turned on. And what's been so powerful with that is that I am aware when my faucet is off. And I'm negotiating. I'm negotiating within myself. Well, yeah, I know I maybe I could turn it on, but sometimes I don't want to because I want to be right in my righteousness. They're wrong, and they need to apologize. Isn't that something? How we can hold something within ourselves that can literally make us sick, deplete our energy, make us ill in our body. And we can wait for years for someone or something to apologize with the hopes that that will clear it up. Isn't that something? So all of that time that we're holding on to whatever it is, we're caught in this ball of illusion that if they can say that they're wrong, that's going to make me feel better. Yet we have that power within us all along. There are times that people have apologized and people say it's not enough. Well, you can't go back and, like the movies, bring the incident or whatever happened back. So if it's not enough, it means that within you, it's not enough to feel that gaping hole that you have been holding on to and pampering and snuggling up against. This shift in consciousness that when I see this, hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. That is within us. We can't have a feeling of hate or anger or frustration that's so deeply rooted within us that love can't move that out. That we're willing to keep that feeling of frustration, of anger, or fear, or righteousness. We're willing to keep that. Nope, love, you can't come in here. Nope, this is not for you. But that is the true healing. That is if there is such a thing as an apology healing you, it is the love that you give yourself. The love that you allow, that is the truth of who you are, to spew through your body, to fill you up. To fill you up with love. So then we don't need something from outside of us. to make it all right. Not saying that having apologies, they what they are. But the true apology comes to you from within yourself. To not hold you prisoner. To not hold yourself as a prisoner. And the only thing that can free you is a key that someone else has. You look at Nelson Mandela, he understood at some point, and he understood at some point that the key to freedom wasn't to people that held him in prison, it was himself. That is powerful. Yes, they could keep him in a cell, but they couldn't keep his mind and his spirit in that turmoil. Only he could do that. He showed us that the power of love can knock down anything. And it did. I find it so amazing that most of the world celebrates the new year, that we are all joined in together celebrating this time, that there's a newness that it's coming. There's a new year coming. There's a new me that's coming. I'm letting these old things go while I embrace these new things. That energy that so many people across the world are doing all at the same time. That energy has the possibility of catapulting us to a higher level of being. And yet, most of the time, it does not. Because most of the time, I believe most of us think, oh yeah, it's a new year. But 2 weeks in, we're practicing the same old thing. You know, you see all the gyms that the special, get the gym special. And maybe 3 months in, the gym is back to what it was. So what is it? We don't have to wait for a new year to come to be this new expression, to climb our mountain. What do we have to do? What do we have to know about ourselves? And what do we have to practice to be the expression that we feel and know, and sometimes we have a glimpse of? Dr. Martin Luther King says, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. And now, of course, when this was written, man being all, but man, woman, all of us. The ultimate measure, I could say the ultimate measure of a human being is not where they stand in moments of comfort and convenience, but where they stand at times of challenge and controversy. No matter what road you're traveling on, there are going to be times that the road gets rough. There are going to be times that you don't know what to do, which way to turn. Those things are going to happen. I appreciated Reverend Kevin spoke this Sunday saying that the friction of contrast is the evolution that's birthing us forward. That's the same thing as the challenge and the controversy. It is a birthing forward into a new evolution of who and what you are and how you're thinking and what you can be. Life is not stagnated. It is constantly moving. constantly. I mean, every day we celebrate at the end of the year that it's a new year, but every day is a new day. Every day, every single day. We have an opportunity every single day to rise to a new awareness, to think a new thought, to feel something different in our spirit, to light our path in a different manner. Every day we have that option. Every single day. The surest way to be happy is to seek happiness for others. The surest way to be happy is to seek happiness for others. To want the happiness of others, to not feel competition, jealousy. What would nature do if flowers and trees were in competition with one another? I know that you've seen trees where 3, 4 trees in a row, the roots are so deep and so spread, yet each tree is magnificently full and abundant. Each one of them filled with the power and energy of life. Each one of them. I encourage you as you sit in January to think about what is for you on the mountaintop. What are you inspired by? What are you willing to participate in? How far are you willing to walk? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to leave as your legacy? How are you willing to expand the world? Because we all are a part of it. What's calling you? What's calling you to give of who you are? What do you hear? What are you ignoring? Or where have you resigned in your life? We are more powerful than we could ever really understand. I believe we're moving into, I like to call it Star Wars realm, that the world is moving at a much faster pace than it has before, and technology is a thriving and pushing asset of that. And rather, I do like technology, but there are times that I feel like, oh, wait a minute, that may be too much. But this is happening. The world is moving, it's moving forward, and the world is changing. All over this globe, it is changing. People are changing. And so to think that we can still operate from 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, things are changing. They have changed more than we know. It's not to scare. It's not to put fear. It's to say, hey, where do I want to get in? What am I willing to do? Where am I willing to find out my voice now? And how do I want to use it? What's important on your mountaintop? What's important to you? That is the gift that you give back to the world. That is a powerful gift that you give to us. I have a couple of more quotes here. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. These are all quotes by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. We don't have to know all of the answers. We don't have to know how technology is going to affect our life, how it's going to change our lives. We don't have to know that. We do know that technology is not going away. Technology is moving into our lives in ways unlike ever before. Some things we will appreciate, some we will not, and some we will not know. But to spend our time in a prison of fear, to spend our time in a prison of anger and doubt, to spend our time in a prison that we have created for ourselves and we're waiting for someone else outside of us to unlock it. That is a very tough road to take. So whatever you choose to practice, if it's love for me, I'm practicing love. I am a faucet of love. Several times throughout the day, I remind myself, I am a faucet of love. And I see the faucet just on in me, just pouring. And there's no end. I am a faucet of love. It reminds me to be in a space of love, to look with loving eyes, to speak with loving tongue. Doesn't always work, but it is a practice that I'm practicing. And so what I do know, that if I practice something, that there will be and is a shift that's taking place within me. My job is to be as consistent as I can, to not give up on me. Don't give up on you. You may get tired some days. Take a rest. But don't stop. Don't stop moving forward. Don't stop being the divine light that you are, expecting someone or something to unlock your prison door. When I was in high school, I was a theater major, and I was part of our theatrical group. And for a couple of years, I did the Martin Luther King speech, I Have a Dream. I don't even know if I fully understood the magnitude of this speech. There were parts that I absolutely understood and embraced, and I had an experience where I was called the N-word and someone threw something at me. And that feeling, that anger that was within me, it gave room to express this speech from a very different place. And I remember I think I was a freshman in high school. And I was involved in this contest, and I got up and did the speech. And it had a little mixed reviews. And there was another young lady that also did the speech. And she was older than me, and I was mesmerized by her. My mother wasn't so happy because she was like, how can they put y'all in the same group? Because she's like 2 or 3 years older than me. And I remember saying to my mother, I said, but Mama, she did it so beautifully. I remember that we both did the speech, but what I felt from her was beauty, and I'm pretty sure what people felt from me was anger. You can climb your mountain in anger or in beauty, in love, in peace, in joy. I have to say, Reverend Kevin also mentioned that if we need life to be a particular way in order to be a faucet of love, in order to experience peace, in order to be a joyful expression, in order to experience harmony, then we are cheating ourselves, because when things are not in the way that we want, who are we then? What are we being? What prison are we in then? And so when I found this, that changed my life, because I realized that I didn't have to be angry to say it. I realized that what Martin Luther King was saying was love. Was love. And I wanted to be a part of that. I will say that I went on to be very well acknowledged throughout St. Louis, and the government at that time was very big. The government business, which my mother worked for the government, they hired me for their Black History Month, and I went around to all the different facilities, and I did the speech, and there were times that people had tears and cried and cheered, and there was this whole new evolution that took place within me. I lost my mind because it was like the first time I got paid to perform. And I don't know, I think the check was like $200 or maybe $300, and I was telling my mama, look, and she said, please don't make me hurt you. Still growing. But I remember that feeling of what I felt from that young lady, the beauty. It was beautiful the way she delivered it. It inspired me to find my space of love in that speech. I don't have the whole speech. I just have a bit of it. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that whatever is on your mountaintop, it is of value to this world. It is a gift that you give to us, and I believe that what you give us from your mountaintop, it makes the world a better place. So I encourage you to give from your mountaintop, to take the journey of this, of what is calling forth from you, to hold the key that unlocks your spirit, your soul, and not wait for someone else to give you the key to your life. Thank you for being here with me today. We have a couple of wonderful things that are taking place. Right now is our conscious giving time. And so for those of you that know, we have our Venmo QR code, our PayPal. There's so many wonderful ways that you can support us.
I send my power over the mountains. I send my power over the sea. I send my power into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send
my being over over the mountain. We thank you for all of the wonderful love and support that you constantly give Universal Spirit Center. And you know that 10% of what you give us, we give back out into the community. We are here and thriving because of you. Thank you for 2023, and I'm already thanking you for 2024 for the love and the light that you constantly give to us. We are blessed by your consciousness, your awareness, and your love. It returns to me. Oh, it returns to me. Oh, yes. And before we go tonight, we had two wonderful people gift us with tickets to The Wiz, the Broadway production, The Wiz, that's in town here in San Diego. And our Racial Equality Project, they gifted those tickets to us, and we used them as a fundraiser for our trip that's coming up this year, April 2024, April 2nd through the 6th. If you want to find out more information about that, you can go to our webpage and go to get involved, and our Racial Equality Project will have information, and we are starting to add ticket and hotel information that will be up by the end of this month. So I'm very excited of all that we are doing and all that we're having right now. Tonight we're going to do the raffle. I'm just stirring the tickets around. And to remember that no matter where you are, no matter who you are, that everything must change. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold. 'Cause that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life we can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds and sunlights of the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Winter turns to spring, and a wounded heart will heal, but never much too soon. Yes, everything will change. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold. That's the way of time. Yes, everything must change. There are not many things in this life we can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, sunlights of the sky, Hummingbirds do fly. Oh, rain comes from the clouds. Sun lights up the sky. Hummingbirds fly. Let's get the basket. All right. Let's get the basket. Here's the basket. I'm going to pick out one raffle to go to the Wiz this Friday, January the 12th, 8 o'clock at the Civic Theater. Oh, there are not many things in life. And the winner is Elizabeth. Let me make sure. Yep, Elizabeth. I will give you a call and let you know you have won the tickets for the Wiz. All right. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Peace and blessings to all.